My name is Kareem. I'm Oakland NAACP and Fulcrum, and we going in today on publishers, man. I'm in doing our literacy work on K-5 reading. We finding out that these publishers are so wrong, they dirty, and I'm finna tell the truth, shame the devil, and those who are affiliated with it. So shady, it's ridiculous. Now we got 11 of the lowest 75 schools in California for reading, third grade reading. That came out of the LT case. And so what's wrong? What's really good? Why, who made the decision to use that, and why aren't they being held accountable? Who are they? Who made that call? And what did they base it on? Did they look at the evidence? So NAACP brought in some curriculum experts, national experts. And let's just start with that. I'm gonna roll through it step by step. I'm gonna show y'all. This ain't gonna be long, but I'm gonna show you and why it's so important, because they're gonna pick a new curriculum right now. Our children are not guinea pigs.
There is evidence from student outcomes. As I said, none for units of study, none for the basals. There is scattered evidence for EL education K-5. But I know I come across some schools, K-5, that have shown what's called pre and post tests. You know, before you started this curriculum, here were your scores. After, here were your scores. There's definitely some of that with 1,000 schools. There is no evidence that I'm aware of for core knowledge, language arts, K-5. And I keep asking them, and I'm pretty sure they'd sent it to me because they know I talk. And I have not gotten that. Wit and wisdom, K-8. Baltimore showed a small increase after 1 year of implementation of wit and wisdom.
So y'all heard that. No evidence for units of study, none, zero, what they said. Small evidence for EL education, scattered, they said. None for the basals. Most of these programs are basals. So how is that possible? How is it possible that we pick something with no evidence? And who is accountable for that? That's what we want to know. So let me show you. I was like, that can't be true. That can't be true. Good people with good hearts. And here we are. Prisons filled, kids dropping out, can't read. So here's the Lucy Calkins Units of Study website right here. Here you go. All right. I went straight to the source. What they talking about? Because maybe somebody got sold a bill of goods. Boom. Come down here, research and effectiveness. Click on that. And I go down to all grades. Let's go K-5. All right. Filter with that. And they give us this. This is the list of what they give us. All right. And so if you just stuck on, well, don't let me get started. But if you just go through this, you're gonna think, oh man, this is good. Look at this. New York got some, California got some. Wait till y'all hear this. Y'all, hey, all this stuff right here, right? It must be good. Okay. But then you analyze it. I went through step by step every one of them studies. Every one of those so-called studies. Man, this ain't nothing but a fraud. That's why they banned in 2 states right now. That's why people dumping left and right. That's why the author came back and said, well, we missed some stuff. Okay, oh yeah, you did. So look at this. They had one in Missouri, 75% white, 6%. Is this what we should be? No offense to white people. What I'm saying though, 77% white kids, then you gonna pick this for Oakland? And in 3 years, you went up 12 percentage points. You ain't talking about our kids. 15% poverty. Let me tell you something. Here's our schools right here. This is Oakland. These are the elementary schools in Oakland. Up and down is reading proficiency. Reading proficiency, and going right to left is poverty. All right, so-called poverty. And here is in this first column right here, that's between 90 and 99%. Okay. Most of our schools go all the way on the left, 90 to 99% poverty. That's more than half our elementary schools. All right. So if you're going to pick something, it better be able to work. So why would y'all go and pick something on a few kids in schools that mirror this and expect it to work over there? All we hear, poverty, 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 trauma, trauma, trauma. All the buzzwords, all the talk, all the equity talk, all the racism talk, okay? It's just talk. Because when it comes down time to make a decision, then why wouldn't you find something that works for these schools, right? But they didn't even look at that. Y'all didn't even care about that. Y'all not asking about, hey, what works in poverty? Where's the research studies to see what? Nah, You went on ahead and found something that worked there and pushed it on them. You pushed it on teachers. You pushed it on kids. So I don't want to hear nothing else about poverty. I don't want to hear nothing about trauma, because if it matters now. If it matters when you decide what you pick. Did you even look at that? Where are the research studies? I want to know what research study said that curriculum worked with kids right over here. Show me. And if you can't show me that, look, we're starving out here. This ain't, who this ain't our kids. So on to the next study. It's a 3-year study, and they had 3 schools. And the one that actually showed, look at it, check this one out. This one, 72% poverty. So that is more reflective of Oakland. Okay. But 67% of the teachers in this study had 3 years or more of experience. So don't try pushing this in the flatland schools. What was y'all doing? It never was for man, they turning over teachers left and right every year. Stop playing. And for all that, they got a 9% increase over 3 years. The next study they listed, it wasn't even a study, and they didn't report results. This one, not a study. It was a lady talking about it, just talking about it. That's what they listed as evidence. I can send this out, put it on our site. Yeah, this is ridiculous. It's just a lady talking about writing in her district. Next one, not a real study. Really what it shows was a difference in low teacher turnover has. We already know that. The next one, I'll wait till y'all get to this one down here. But this one right here, 7 districts, teachers college, 8 years or more. 8 years or more have been using this program, and then you do a 2-year study that really has no pre and post, okay? And it really is misleading the way they set it up. They talk about the rate of improvement, but if you don't have a pre, how are you gonna talk about improvement? You don't do year 1 of your project versus year 2 of your project. You have 2 groups. You take what they did before, and then you start on. So it's just, and then this is the one that kills me. This is the one that every Oakland person should be just living. Teachers, principals, everybody. So this one says the title is Growth in California Schools. California schools using, this is Lucy Calkins, TCRW. All right. And they said districts connected to blah, 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 blah. They had all these results, but they didn't, and then they listed who it was for, who they cooked into their results. Hey, I guess I got news for you. They did not include Oakland in their analysis. All the money, time, energy, all the caping y'all do for these people, they're not even looking at us. They basically saying your kids don't qualify to be included in the data because you don't have the conditions. You think I'm playing. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you. Here it goes right here, right? Oh, this is all schools that we do. These are our super schools, and this is the rest of the state of California. Yeah, okay. So these ones have been doing your program for 8 years, and then you want to give a 1-year snapshot. Nice. And then go down here, what it say? Told you, I thought I was playing. Here go the list of schools counties that they did this for, right here. Oakland not even on the list. Not even on the list. I mean, large if you see that. That's what they think about you and your kids. You're not even considered when they look at the evidence. So then they take us out the evidence and try to justify their program. Who else did they take out? Who else did they leave out? It just, the whole thing is a hustle, man. How do you feel not being included and saying, yeah, we're not going to look at Oakland? And so we see this data. So what was this curriculum steering committee doing, adoption committee back then? Why didn't they look at the results? Why didn't they look at the evidence? What was they doing? Did they just believe everything that was being told? And who was the board that approved that curriculum? And why did the community not stand up? What was so then I started digging into it because the Libyan said it wasn't just them, it was the Basils. Oakland Unified is looking at all these curriculum. And the ones in yellow, they looked at it, and to the committee's credit, our current committee, they actually said, nah, we're not feeling these yellow ones. I respect that. Why? Because boom, no verifiable results. no verifiable. I don't know if they looked at this or not, but they came up to the one that did have some sort of evidence, or was evidence-based at least, was this one, CKLA, core knowledge. When I looked at core knowledge, and I know some of y'all love core knowledge. I already know. Some of my good friends love core knowledge, but guess what? Since we looking at evidence, let's look at all the evidence. Let's look at these ones too. I'm only gonna do this one. This is what they list on their site. Not even, this study they cite, it's not even published. This on their website. The study not even published yet. They proposed in 2009, started in 2018. It's only for third grade. What are we talking about? Man, stop playing. This one from Oklahoma, third through fifth grade. Okay, that sounds good. Highly significant results. Statistically higher. Okay, woo. Man, I click on it. It's not even, look, y'all think I'm playing? Watch this. I click on that link. Where it go? Page not found. On their website. The mystery study. Man, our kids ain't got time for mystery studies, man. They don't have time for that. Okay, on to the next. Maryland had a randomly controlled trial. This is legit. Now it's 20 years ago. 25 years ago. Man, this is the biggest hustle in town. Right here. Right? Now they had a control group. I'm talking about the kids that was in the actual group that's being impacted. First and third grade kids. And all this, and their program really wasn't about CKLA. It was about their What Every Kid Needs to Know series, if you're part of their foundation. And all of this for what? For this statement, the data allowed for a few guarded statements. In other words, we can't even say too much about these results. Changes in scores show a mixed pattern. It is difficult to interpret the impact of core knowledge. This is what they're saying in their study. This is the best they could offer, and we were considering adopting that curriculum. Who is in charge? That's now. We looked at that now. Like I said, the committee kicked it to the curb. Respect. I don't know if they looked at this evidence, and here go one. Come find out this one, they looked at 8 schools. What's the conditions for success? Grading periods, teacher turnover, whatever. And it wasn't even a real, randomly controlled, wasn't robust, man. So let me just put it this way. We getting hustled hard, all right? Hustled hard, and nobody's saying a word. How about this? You want to look at something? This is the Department of Justice report about the school to prison pipeline. So while y'all playing, this is from the Department of Justice. While y'all playing, keep that. It's welded to reading academic failure and delinquency. It's welded to reading failure. The prison system, the Department of Justice, they know this. And then they say it's proposed that research-based reading curriculum can reduce. So what they're saying is, look, the crime rate and reading failure, it goes together. And if you want to reduce it, then research-based reading instruction. When half these don't even have that. So I'm telling the truth. These publishing companies making millions of dollars off our kids and don't even have the decency to include them in the data. They didn't have Markham and Horace Mann and Highland and Rise and all these schools in mind. They wasn't thinking about that. So who gonna think about it for those kids? That's our job. Something's gotta change. So we're asking all those in charge, don't take anything without serious evidence of success. I'm talking about, look at this study with 3 districts or 1 district or 1,000 kids or whatever it is. Look at this. Look at the results over 1 year, over 2 years, over 3 years. It's randomly controlled. It's legit. It's a real study. Look at this evidence for English language learners, for African-American kids, for Latino kids, for kids living in poverty. All the stuff they say is important, trauma and this and that. Okay, for kids with all that, this works. I'm sure the last people, the last curriculum selection committee, the last administration, the last superintendent, the last board, I'm sure they all had great intentions to this, were very smart people, but they got it so far into the education bubble about what's popular and what's good. Now look at us. The hustle is in full effect. Prisons have been filled. The millions have been made. The careers have been set. And here our kids are, left to deal with the aftermath.